We got 3 members of the board. By the time you guys get through yours, hopefully that's 2 will be here. We can start. The notice of the board meeting was at the front gate and also at pool, and also with an email blast. Okay. Can we all have a moment of silence? Can we have a motion to approve the May 13th, 2024 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Linda?
I made a motion.
Oh, okay.
Second.
I didn't-
Any discussion?
No.
With no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the agenda in which is the manner that is constructed.
I move to accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
None. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Financial report.
All right, income for the month, 320,384, expenses 309,497, so we had a positive 10,000, so pretty much on budget. Bank account balances $2,244,665. Our delinquencies, and I think some of this is moving it to Larry, we dropped $20,000 over last month, came down, which is good. We still have $183,000 out there. I was playing with this afternoon. Out of that 183, 153 of it are people who are in collections. So we have like 30,000 that are 60 days under. 4 more going to Larry this month. The only really 2 line items that were a little out of whack was townhome gutters, which we knew was the 15,000, and irrigation. We had a $3,300 pump repair. And that's it.
Property manager report.
Certainly. The gutter company is now on Laurel Ridge doing the maintenance and repairs over on Laurel Ridge. We also have a company that's doing the rip wrap over in the preserve area, which is staged over in Centerstone in the cul-de-sac. What they're going to be doing is breaking up what's already pretty much broken up, the concrete that's in the bottom of the basin of the preserve, and replacing it with new concrete. So that project is going on. Of course, Xfinity fiber optic project is still ongoing as well. We also switched them over to a summer schedule to accommodate the kids getting out of school and congregating over in the maintenance area. So that schedule has changed for the road. And on a lighter note, there's no gate damage. It seems the speed bump is working. And we also have the police that will be coming in to do traffic citations. They have a sporadic schedule that we will be following, meaning that they'll just come in at any time, won't know when to come, just to address citations such as speeding and running the stop sign, since that's prevalent now. Also, we have a little list that we put up here for our working with that collaboratively with our committees, the stuff that we have gotten done and accomplished thus far. Like our website has been renovated and updated, it's interactive. Stay in contact, we have that going on at the gym and in the office facility with the streaming of what's going on in the community and the contact phone numbers to the good company, non-emergency police, and to the office as well. The tree trimming has been done to the focus of all the areas in the community. Along the beautification aided in the plant revitalization project over in the common area in these areas here. The front side of the entryway has been repaired. And if you're unable to attend a board meeting, we also have live streaming on YouTube. And the address for the YouTube live stream is also on the website as well. The security cameras, the resolution project is ongoing. 28 cameras that we have, 26 are working, 28, I'm working on an alternative power source because the solar panel is not really working out that well. So that's pretty good, because we switched from hardly any cameras working to most all of them working. And I have an appointment tomorrow with security systems and more to rectify and come up with a problem or solution, a solution to the other 2 cameras. And the 2 cameras are located Centerstone South and over in the northeast corner. And we added 2 additional cameras over Laura Ridge and they're all operational.
All right, moving right in, public comments, everybody get 3 minutes. We're gonna go down the front row and just snake our way all the way to the back, so starting here, Ms. K.
Oh, 2 things. Charlene spoke, you have talked about the notice that we gave. The notice need to be put up earlier because some people tend to forget and they don't have the email. So if they could put it out like prior to the, because I think it just went this morning.
No.
Friday? Oh, okay. I didn't see it because normally one on the way up. In addition to that, talk about tree trimming. My tree has gotten back so huge that when the garbage truck come to pick up, it's hindering it from, the branches that hang over in the street. It's, preventing it from, picking it up. So it needs to trim a little.
That'll be something for the office to take care of.
Yeah.
So just send an email to them and we'll see if we have it in the budget to come out and take care of it.
I had a question about speed bumps. Is that appropriate for this forum, or should I talk to Charlene?
You got 3 minutes?
Okay,
Yes, sir.
well, I'm gonna go first way. When you first turn around at the stop sign, I think it's more of a speed table because it's kind of flat. And then right on the other side of my driveway, there's one. But that's kind of the main road for everybody to go in on that side. And I know we talked at several meetings about, car speed improvement. I know everybody knows that's an issue. But I feel like the one that was just put in at the gate, like, you're not speeding through that one. Like, that's what I would love to see, more of those types of speed bumps where cars you have to slow down for that, first off, because you're gonna do some damage somewhere.
Yeah.
That thing it's
Long.
yes.
It's long,
It's really high, that's really what I need, because in our street.
That's the townhomes, right?
Yes.
I think one of the problems was reason why you guys don't have as many speed bumps. It was how your driveways connect. It had to be
Right, there had to be like some grass.
some greenery,
yes.
greenery to greenery.
Which it is, there's 2 right before my house, between the stop sign and my house, which again is the main road to get to everywhere. It's just, they're super
But-
wide instead of flat, there's just, you don't even have to slow down.
But what I'm saying is, in between those 2, is no greenery to greenery to put another hump.
No, I wasn't thinking of putting additional, I was thinking of modifying the ones that are there to make them higher, or whatever that was.
It was initially high, we got so many complaints, that people's foundation shaking when the trucks, UPS delivery trucks go over, that we lowered.
Oh, wow.
Wasn't there an issue with the emergency vehicles also? At one point where they would slow the fire department down
Yeah.
too much?
The problem is probably those are wearing down. So over time, it will wear down. They probably need to be relooked at to look at readdressing the height again on it. Because humps are more preferred for emergency vehicles because they can go over them a little quicker than versus speed bumps where they're actually it's a lot rougher on emergency vehicles.
Yeah.
Speed humps, if they're the right height before wearing down, they will effectively slow a car down, but still allow even some of the lower cars to pass over them because the width allows for the base of the car to have both tires hit and travel over safely.
Gotcha.
So. Ms. Ann?
I just have one question. Did the board, decide to not use the word minutes on our minutes? Because I noticed the last couple of months that, let's say if I look back to look for the minutes, it's not the word minutes on it. Like agenda. So I was just wondering what I would say from a legal standpoint too. I just wondered why the word minutes was taken off the minutes. Maybe that's something you guys passed.
Yeah, I think it's been like that even when Keno was running it, they never had the word minutes on it.
No.
Then I may be mistaken, if there is a legal requirement for it, then yes, we should meet the legal requirement, but we'll have to look in and see if it really is a legal requirement to actually state the word minutes on it.
So would you, when we go about that?
Mr. Chair.
We'll turn that's something that we'll turn over to the property manager and have them research. And because, so you're saying it should be $1,000.
No, yes, and it has always, I'm just saying, let's say, for example, I'm just hypothetically.
No, I'm following, I'm just trying to understand.
If there was a lawsuit and they said, I want the minutes for May, you could go up there, but you don't see minutes. So how would the person know that that's
So you-
actually the minutes for that?
And after board meeting, you just find it and plug the word minutes in, so it says board meeting minutes.
But we have the meeting minutes, right? So just go change.
I'm sorry, it's changed.
It can be semantics. Okay,
Just add it to it.
with your research, if it's semantics, then it's semantics. We don't have to change it. If it's not, if it's for the law, we'll. But this wouldn't be, if you're talking about this would be the agenda in which we, no, let me finish, because some people get it. What, after the meeting is concluded, those are the minutes of the action from the agenda. So, yes,
I know she's talking about
yes.
last month, yeah. So this is board meeting.
Just say board meeting, so it's just saying say board meeting minutes.
But if,
That's what your letter.
I know, but if somebody look at board meetings in the past, right, May 13, 2024, we would probably understand that this is a recap of the board meeting from the past of May 23, 24. So it may be just semantics where we don't have to do it, but it, you know what I'm saying, it may be fine in the manner that in which it is. Well, no, so. All right, so, all right, sir.
So the question in regards to the amenities, I know it's between the tennis court, the gym, and the play area. Is there something being done to keep the court clean and about the equipment being renewed as there's new residents, older residents, or utilizing items on?
Yes. We passed a budget to replace the
We're doing renovations for the pool and the top lot. Now, we have the proposals for the tennis court and the basketball court. If you have to present it to the board, because we didn't want to outlay too much of the money up front during the beginning of the year. So that's one part we push back towards. We're in the middle now, the middle towards the end of the year.
But how about simply cleaning of it? Like, we want to be more.
The tennis court was actually today, because somebody had graffiti on there, it looks like a kid that chalk on it, so that's actually.
But can we get like something scheduled, like a quarterly cleaning or something like that with the pressure washer?
Or it doesn't have to be like necessarily a pressure washer, but at least we clean the streets and.
I think he's talking about regular, it's just pressure wash,
No, what I'm saying is, because if you allow it to build up, then it becomes slippery, but if we do something like a quarterly or a biannual pressure cleaning to just keep it clean, then we won't be no slippage, no liability or anything like that. So.
Well, that's stuff to say, also greenery, the trees, right? And you have some seeded trees on the east side of it, and those fall, the issue can recur within 2 weeks.
So.
I appreciate his question, because I have the same question about the upkeep. Whose job is to make sure
that is clean? Marvin's? I just wanna know, I'm asking who's supposed to clean the things out, even like the pool area, the kiddie pool that looks filthy when I seen it last week. I just tried to walk around and look, I'm in agreement with you. Cause we pay a good penny to live out here, so who keeps the upkeep of this stuff? That's my question.
Does the pool area. Marvin does the maintenance in the gym area and around the pool area. And he does the gym, the pool area, the one that's, he actually just did a deep cleaning in the gym and one that's the tennis courts. Yeah.
So how
We
often?
do have a board and everything to clean it up regularly.
So I'm like, right, so how often is this upkeep taking place? Monthly, quarterly, weekly, bi-monthly?
Monthly. But there are things in rainy season, so it's gonna be a lot of debris and when, plus the hedges are so in close proximity to the tennis court, it's adding to the debris as well. They actually need to be pulled back about a foot and a half or two.
So is Marvin considered our maintenance man on site?
That is correct. But he wouldn't do the pulling back of the hedges, that would have to be contracted. I think that that's different. That's a tribute to all of the debris and the trees that are in close proximity, the roots are actually coming up, causing the crack in the tennis court. It just needs renovation, point blank period. Which will include moving back the hedges and possibly cutting roots back or cutting the tree back, tree or two back.
So I just wanna write this down. So Marvin does gym. What else?
The pool area, the pet waste station, he changed the bags. And he does anything else that he calls to do as far as garbage can, roundup, we currently doing.
And because I wanna make sure I'm clear, and he's a part of your team or Russ?
Russ,
And that's who pays him?
that is correct.
Okay.
I'm so sorry, but I have no. Yeah, I'm good.
Actually, I have one question about the tree trimming. I'm still working with 2488 for red workers. I have one tree that's, I guess, in front of the house. It irregular from other trees. I put in an email about it a while ago, about how there's a lot of wildlife that lives in that like bush area. When they did the tree trimming, they did not address that tree at all. I don't know if it's something that I'll just have to go ahead and do myself, or let me go and submit like an art form or something just to
You
get
say
it.
it's located in the front,
Yeah,
and it was not done
no,
when the tree was trimmed?
yeah,
All right, I'll send mom with this over there to take care of it.
'cause yeah, it's been like years now, and there's
What-
a raccoon.
Let me ask you a question.
Years since the tree was planted. Is it a front?
Yeah, it's been there, and I've been trying to figure out how to kind of, because it's not like it was regular trees, I have a picture of it.
Yeah. It's not a fruit tree.
I don't know, it's.
It's not a fruit tree.
Yeah, it looks like this.
Yes, is it something that was planted by the,
In front of the light pole, over its way. It's like the only one like this. I've drove around, I haven't seen any other people have this out here.
that don't look like it's supposed to be there?
Oh,
No,
That's not a HOA.
yeah, I don't
That's
know.
probably why I thought so.
Yeah,
they wasn't trimming those trees there anyway.
yeah, so that's what I'm trying to figure out. If I was to go ahead and cut it down myself or get rid of it myself.
If it wasn't,
Is it still any nutrition in tables or anything like that?
I think it might, yeah,
Are you home in daytime or not?
yeah, I'm-
I'll come get it.
okay, yeah.
That's
That
why it's not a HOA.
because every time the kids are coming in and out, like you'll hear different things rustling up in there, and I just want to keep them safe before something comes out.
now mind you, certain animals we can't get rid of.
Oh, yeah.
We invaded on that. We invaded on that land. That's why we can't get rid of the preserve, because a lot of people like just get rid of the preserve, turn it into a lake. But you can't turn it into a lake because for all you people that grew up over here, you know what I'm saying, the road never came this far. So
I just wanted to see if there's anything I can do.
if it, yeah, you probably can take it down if it wasn't part of the original landscape.
And then get in trouble for what happened.
With your art committee. Sure.
I have one more question, if it's okay. Just one more. I just wanted to know about like termites as well. That whole section is starting to get bad. I got to talk to a couple of my neighbors. Is there, other than us coming together and shutting the tent down, is there anything else that could possibly?
Interior or exterior?
And it seems like exterior. It seems like subterranean.
No,
Subterranean is you.
If it's driveway, then the homeowner.
Yeah, inside, outside, we're responsible. So we just got to figure out.
There's swarming, so there's just, I'm not sure.
Subterranean.
Okay, so we'll do that.
Okay, one night it came hot, and the whole garage was.
If the next person doesn't do it,
Exactly.
they just move next door.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna do it, it's good to let your neighbors know, so that you're not just hopping back and forth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's what I did. The last time I did it was 2 years ago, and I had like board environmental come by, everything like that. But I just want to make sure if there's something that we can do.
Well, let's find out what kind of termites they are. Okay, because we have another company that we refer to as Friday. He doesn't utilize the TT. He actually is some kind of expert in environmental termites. He's Australian training. They actually drill microscopic whole thing on. That's the basic and get rid of. Otherwise, the old fashioned way is to take the whole building. If everybody's not going to educate, they can do it at the same time. It's not.
I had it done at my house, the way that she's saying, it wasn't that expensive, okay, I'm sorry about
Sir. No. So you.
Just to piggyback off of just so you know, if it is the inside, I don't know if it's the same, I don't remember the name of the company. Possibly, but he came in, he analyzed what type of termites it was, and it was only in one room, and he basically did what Shirley said. He drilled holes into the wall, inserted some kind of pesticide, whatever it is, and this was like 2 years ago, and I haven't had any problems since. So, but I think it depends on the extent of coverage or that.
And I was looking for a while. It's just because I'm in a town hall, I'm connected with my neighbors.
We got you. We trying to get her.
One more thing, just so I know whether or not it's my responsibility with HOA. So about almost a year or 2 years ago, when the storm came, I had a small tree, something small like that. It blew over, but it left somewhat of a stump. The HOA cut it down, but the stump is still there. So when people walk past, it's a possibility that someone can get injured. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay, sure. What's your name?
2370 Centerstone.
The question
I
is,
sent an email to the office and we can work on it.
I'll take a picture of it and I'll.
Yeah.
is it a single family home or?
No.
Okay, then.
Yeah, that's part of the stuff.
That, would that be above ground or below ground?
It's a trip house.
It's above. So they cut the tree, but they didn't get rid of the stump.
No, because we're responsible.
It's, so,
That's my point.
so it's through the walkway, the kids walk through this way to go to school, so it's right before you get to the preserve.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
In between the two,
Two towns, between the two towns. Yes.
Continental? Yeah.
I still have
Mr.
to-
President, they have come over there and looked at stuff 3 times,
two.
but they don't know what to do with it. Because I sit there and I watch them, but they haven't made an attempt to cut it yet, so so they do it.
I've actually sent,
Our company next.
okay. I still have two stamps waiting for them to come to do. One was for a couple of years and one.
All right. All right. Moving on to new business committees. Any representation of any committee other than we just got committee. All right. Moving on. Audit committee.
Yes, the audit committee has met, and our focus has been on the insurance for Thousand Oaks. And we looked at, there's three parts. One of the parts deals with 2023, 2024. The information that we as homeowners and the board received was that it was going to cost us $1,202,000 for the overall insurance for Thousand Oaks. But after thoroughly researching everything and getting the proper paperwork, we found out that it only costs for 2023, 2024, $832,086.20. That leaves a total of $370,000 sitting out somewhere. So I don't know what happened, but in actuality, we did not pay over $1 million for insurance. Okay, for 2023, 2024.
It can't be all.
Excuse me?
And I said, it can't be all, it's just part of it, but not.
That's not interest.
This has nothing to do with interest.
No, it's not, if you could send whatever you're doing, so we can
Okay,
review it.
let me break it down, just for people who can not see it right now. What happened was, we paid, for 2023, 24, $765,000 for property insurance. Okay, that's including, manors and, townhomes. We paid $14,522 for the umbrella insurance. For the boiler and machinery insurance, we paid $3,761.10. For the directors and officers, we paid $3,945.48. Then what happened was, we financed. Okay, so we financed $788,029.59. Our finance is charged for 11 months at 8.15% was $68,353.18. And then I also added, which was not part of the 788. Okay, we added $44,056 for that auto owner hail and protection insurance. I think that's the general
That's
liability that you said. So when you add all of that up, it's only $832,080. $832,086.20. So, like I said, we would like to know what happened to the $370,000. Okay, that's one question. Then we move over to the current budget. Now, the only problem we have with this, because we have asked Glenn to give us what we call a flow sheet. Because I think that's what's happening with the board, that the board does not have, when R.B. Johnson, which is our insurance agent, present the presentation to the board of directors, you do not have the proper documentation to make a decision on whether or not you should move forward with that particular budget. Because the budget that you should be looking at is called a quote summary. It breaks down every insurance company, what their actual cost is, including the tax and the fee that they're charging. So you don't have that. You didn't have that the other month that you just voted on something. So therefore, you really are not voting on something that is relevant to the insurance. Other than to say, oh, we know that they're only gonna pay so much money in case my house, get damaged. You have that, but you really don't know what you're paying for the premium themselves. So therefore, for this coming budget, we cannot make a determination on exactly what the actual cost is. But you, Glenn went and borrowed $1 million and some dollars. So I don't know how you can do that if you don't know what each premium is costing us, okay? So we can't give you anything on that. We really can't. But if you look at what they gave you in that book, remember they said, you're gonna pay less this year than you paid last year. That's not a true statement. It really isn't. And then when we go back, I have to go back to 2002 because this committee did a great job. We went to 2002, 2003. And part of that, we looked at the audit that we got, the audit page. And for the amount of money that was collected from a special assessment, we're short almost $800 from the money that was received for Manor Homes and for Thousand Oaks. And then, I'm sorry, Manor Homes and townhomes. And then we noticed that the $12,300 and some that was approved by the board to be taken from the same single family home for the insurance was never incorporated into that. So we actually don't know what happened to that money either. So the point is, if we have a deficit in 2002 and 2003, because, no, 2002, 2003, this is where the audit is. Okay? 2023, yes. Yeah. Okay, so we don't know whether or not we have a deficit, because in actuality, the money that was supposed to be allocated was never put there. So does anybody have any questions about this?
I do. I have a question.
Yes.
Where are you getting these numbers?
Okay, I'm getting them.
I understand. I wasn't part of the audit. I'm the owner. I want to know where these numbers
Have
came
to sit
from.
down and take a
Okay.
look.
One portion of these numbers came from the RJ Johnson's book that he gave us. The other information came from documentation here.
One minute.
Yeah, you good,
The numbers came from the office
yes,
and the financial
yes.
manager.
Yeah, you will talk to them, I'm sorry.
So,
You're right, I apologize, you're there.
you
Yes,
good? You good? No.
Okay.
You good?
yes, and that concludes our report.
Thank you. All right, let the meeting reflect that at 7:00, Mr. Jackson showed up, and at 7:04, Mr. Joe showed up. So move. So you're good.
Yes.
So, on board, what we need to do is figure out what day on the audit committee and Glenn to get together and give us a report on their findings.
Can I ask a question?
And they should be present so she can train.
Yeah, they don't have to have the insurance agent come in too.
Can I ask a question? How do we go about bringing an outside entity that's not connected, period, to any board members, Glenn or anyone else, bringing in an outside entity that we can actually pay to review the numbers with the auditing company? You know, just to get down to
Not
the bottom
with
of
the
it.
gas. Absolutely, yes.
Just to get down to the bottom of this, so that we can see if money is missing or has it been missing,
So
and things like that. How do we go about doing that? Because we need to get to the bottom of
as simple as you making a motion that we do a forensic accounting.
we need to.
So that's how simple it is. Is that I don't mind doing the forensic accounting. Let's see what that meeting produced, and then if we want to, then we
Yeah, I
can.
think if we figure out what's off from that meeting, then we don't need to spend money.
Because that concerns me, because if she got all her documentation from the office and from you and from Glenn, that means these numbers are not, and I'm thinking like you, Madam Resident, these numbers are not coming from the top of their head, it's coming from somewhere. So there's numbers that are being manipulated and not making sense. We need to clean up, and we need to make sure that things are done the right way, if there's things that are not done correctly. I'm not accusing anybody, but just moving forward. If things are not done the right way, we need to find out what's going on.
If you want to do the motion for,
No, that's why I
no,
said.
I'm saying it can be all one motion. They meet,
Okay.
we make a motion to do a forensic accounting. After that, then after they meet, then we can roll into the forensic accounting.
Okay, we can do that.
So it's all on your motion.
Yeah, I prefer.
So you follow?
I will make a motion that I feel there needs to be a meeting first with Glenn and the audit committee, and how many board members are allowed to be a part of this meeting?
Yeah, I think Rance should be there as treasurer. Rance is treasurer.
Rance, do you feel comfortable sitting
I'm
with
good,
it?
yeah.
Okay. And then the second part to this motion is, once they have came to the understanding, then we need to get an outside agency to review these numbers, to make sure it is correct. Because that's a lot of money that we're dealing with right now.
Well, I don't want to jump to conclusion.
We're not jumping to conclusions, that's why I stated, let our people meet first. We're allowing them time to talk, that's why we're not accusing anyone. That's why Rance is gonna be present, Glenn is gonna be present, and the audit committee is gonna be the president. Their voices for the community. But then if this does not get resolved, and I'm pretty sure that Rance will be open and honest, if it does not get resolved, then we go to part two. Because we have to get to the bottom of that big number. That is a big number. We are paying, I'm gonna keep saying it, huge HOA fees. This community needs a lot of cleaning up. And if there's money out there that is missing and we cannot take account for the money, then we need to find out where the money is.
Correct.
So
Can you send your data on how it's going up with the numbers? So I can look at it. Just to backtrack this, I hate to say that the word money missing. There's no money missing.
Well, we can rephrase it. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it.
question.
What was that number again? Can somebody tell me?
370.
And so I'll rephrase it, Glenn, because I don't want to be.
Yeah, it just sounds like-
This is gonna record it. We're not gonna say money is missing. We want to get a understanding
How
of
it's
the
allocated.
correct numbers.
How it's allocated.
Okay.
So motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Yeah, you'll send that to me in
You-
advance.
You abstain?
Your data.
Oh, unanimous vote. to vendor contractor protocol.
So I'll be brief and I'll go quickly. So, we met on May 24th. This was an open collaboration, and I want to say meeting, it's a collaboration of the minds. The notice was sent out, a week in advance, then we sent out an actual reminder, the day of, to make sure that residents can come out and voice their opinions. Not many people showed up. We had in attendance Ann Williams, Selena Johnson, which is myself, Jocelyn Marshall, Priscilla Gilbert, and there was a resident that sent feedback via email. And if I say the name wrong, I do apologize. Raquel Morales. Okay, and she did send her opinion via email, which was good because actually after reading the email, it actually was in true alignment with what we discussed. Our property manager was not present, but moving forward, if we do have a meeting like this again, we ask that you are present because a lot of questions could not get answered in that meeting again, that you are the property manager.
Understood, let me address that. How many meetings has the audit committee had? Because I don't even know where they have the meetings.
You have to ask that
They're not
question
at the
to them.
clubhouse, it's where I'm available. I'm available anytime. But when you had previous meetings, I think you were elected in February or March.
But hold on. Let me make this clear.
So
This wasn't an auditing meeting. I'm not a part of the auditing committee. This was let me say that again, because I started off very, very, very simple. This was a collaboration of the minds for all residents to come together to talk about the process of vendors and contracts. We sent the email out to everyone, gave notice, and the 5 names that I just said out loud were the only one in attendance. And I'm saying that for a reason, because it was only 5 people in attendance, and a lot of concerns were being discussed, a lot of opinions were discussed. And at this time, anybody that wanted to be present to voice their opinion should have showed. And we want to go over what was discussed. So this has nothing to do with the auditing. I'm not a part of the auditing committee. I want to make that clear. So we came up with 3 different processes, okay? So when Wright brought the idea last meeting, which is also on the agenda, we came up with a protocol because Wright stated, which was also recorded, that we do not have a system in place. We just do things off the top of our heads. I'm assuming, okay? I'm assuming these are my words. And we came up with a system of where process and protocol should be in place in regards to how vendors are chosen, how complaints are handled, and then we came up with the who, what, when, where, and why in regards to contracts, okay? I'm going to read this. I did not print it out and provide it to the residents because it has to get approved first. So I just want you guys to hear what our voices came up with and we collaborated with. So the first one is how vendors are chosen. This is quickly a 5-step process. Step 1, scope of work and advertisement, okay? So in years prior, the scope of work was done by, I'm assuming, the president of the board, okay? The property manager, but moving forward, it needs to be done with the vendor, the property manager, and a board member. The board can decide who will represent. How do we advertise what vendors are needed? Website, social media posts, YouTube channel, newsletter. Taylor and CJ has worked very hard to get these things up and running. They're now active, so we can use this as a means of advertisement, okay? Step 2, the team. Again, this is all our opinion. The board has to agree with this, okay? Who should be a part of the decision-making team? We decided that it would be a great idea for committee leaders, the property manager, and if it is required, a board member to be present. They would review all resumes and proposals that come through. The vendors will have to provide the team with 3 references, and then all vendors must be able to provide evidence of an active business license and insurance. Step 3, the team will then present to the board the top 3 vendors. They will do it at a resident meeting in the presence of fellow residents, and then after After the top 3 are chosen, those 3 vendors will then give a 7 to 10 minute presentation. And yes, 7 to 10 minutes, because that is their time to try to advertise themselves, okay? In that meeting, whenever that meeting is scheduled, we will allow them time to speak. So we want to be very mindful that our board meetings should not go longer than an hour. So we have to make sure that we stay on time when it comes to on those presentations. Step 4, after the vendors present, the board will now have 30 days to review, discuss to themselves, not amongst each other, but just to themselves, their thoughts, their opinions. They will bring it back, and then we will vote together, okay? A resident did make a statement. I did not add it to this because, again, I do want to say this openly in front of the board. A resident did voice a concern about what if the vendor is a family member, okay? If the vendor is a family member, there were some recommendations that a board member who is related to that person could not vote at the time, but again, it has to be a discussion and approval for the board, okay? I just want to put that out there. Then we have the 3-strike process. The 3-strike process deals with strictly complaints.
Is this number 5 or is this still number 4?
No, we're done with that. Number 5 was the board will choose their vendor. Step 5.
They're gonna give us the recommendation.
So they give us the recommendations. We look at the presentation, we hear everything, and then we will, amongst those 3, vote which ones we prefer. Again, you guys, I gave you a copy of this. Everybody actually received a copy of this. The meeting was May 24th. You guys received a copy of this on May 25th, so you had, I just want the residents to be aware. You had enough time to review this. I don't want to shut you down. We got to keep it moving. 3-strike process, important notice. All complaints must be written and responded to within a 48-hour window. Each complaint must be submitted to the office with the date, time, location, and name of the resident that is making the complaint. Step 1, if it's a minor complaint, again, recommendation, 3 to 5 complaints, a warning, mandatory conference will be conducted with the vendor, property manager, and a board member. This is strictly a warning, and we're discussing what complaints have been brought to the office. Step 2, if it's moderate, it will be 6 to 10 complaints, a written reprimand, a written report will be provided to the vendor regarding areas of concern. Vendor will be given a 30-day period of improvement. Property manager will be required to monitor the 30 days, and then the property manager will then submit a written evaluation to the board to let us know how the vendor progress is. Are they doing good? No changes? Is it decreasing? Because we can't just go off word of mouth. We need documentation, okay? Step 3, severe. If there's complaints 11 or more, we will present all the documentation to the board, and then from there, the board will make a decision, and we will give a 60-day certified determination letter with evidence included to that vendor to let them know this is our decision. Here's all the evidence to support our decision. That's process number 2. And then the 3rd process dealing with contracts. This is the who, what, when, where, and why. Contracts. Again, that same team, each committee chairperson and the property manager will review initial contracts and renewals. And if a board member must be present, a board member will represent at the time of the meeting. What? In this meeting, we are only to discuss contracts. What is being discussed is everything that is written in the contract. If it's not written, we are not discussing it. We cannot deviate from what is not in writing. That's the problem that we're having, and I'm gonna talk about that when I get to my concerns. We have contracts that are out there. Again, someone shared, I'm assuming that was you, Taylor, right, that shared contracts with me? Yes. The office did provide contracts to me, but again, no signatures, detailed things that I have not seen, have not been discussed. This is why we need this done correctly. Contracts must be written in detail, signed and dated by both the vendor and 2 board members. When we will always review annually just to make sure everyone is following the contract. We chose the dates July and August because that is directly in the middle of the year, and that is right before the budget meeting. So we chose those months for a reason. Any questions, concerns, or discussions about the particular contract will take place in that meeting. And again, if a board member is required, a board member will be present. Renewal time. We will review renewals 90 days prior to the end of the contract, and renewals will no longer be automatic, because in reviewing this and the details that I researched, we now have renewals as automatically renewed. Contract is over, we're renewing, no conversation, no nothing. We need to put something better in place. Again, a board member will be present if this needs to be done. Where are these meetings to take place? CJ, that supports you. It will be held in the clubhouse. These type of meetings will not be done outside of the clubhouse, because this is resident business. This is public records for us to discuss about our community. No private conversations will be had when it comes to this. And then last, how are contracts stored? It is embarrassing, and I'm going off the last board meeting. Nothing personal, this is business. For a vendor to stand in front of the residents who we pay, I'm gonna say it again, we pay a month, to say to me as a board member, I do not know where my original signed contract is, and then when asked, can someone provide it to me, I am given a contract that is not written in details, that is not signed, that does not cover anything that we discussed, but then you want to tell me this is a legal binding document.
Sad.
You guys, we need to make some changes. Yes, Jeff, I heard what you said, and I do believe that, Jeff, yes, these contracts were written out. They were detailed, they were signed, but for some reason, they're missing. That's embarrassing for a vendor to come in here who we're paying, and I'm not talking about a small penny. We're paying a huge penny, and they can openly say, I cannot provide that information to you. I have it lost somewhere in storage. That's unacceptable. So moving forward, how should contracts be stored? We, Thousand Oaks, need to make sure that it is kept electronically with a copy with signatures and dates, and then it needs to be a hard copy filed away somewhere secure in the office. And that's it for the vendor / contract protocols. And actually, I addressed my concerns within my piece.
All right, I have something to say. First of all, the vendor you're referring to is me. These contracts.
Wait, hold on. What you talking about? No, what you made a statement. I'm just trying to get some understanding.
No, I'm saying, what vendor are you referring to?
What the contract is signed?
Yeah.
Every last one of them. The ones, the copies that I got, you want to go down the list, security, not signed. Yours, not signed. Plans, not signed. No, I'm only talking about, I'm gonna say.
She's talking about what she received.
Thank you. I'm only
I
talking about
understand
what I
that.
received. I'm not talking about what I
I'm just doing a point of clarification. It was not lost by the current administration. We reached out to the current administration.
She never said
That's not what I'm gonna let you talk, but I want to clarify this, because there's things that I did not say. I said what I received in the Google Doc, those are not signed. And they're not written in detail the way that it was discussed. I'm only going off the knowledge that I have. So if I get something that is not done correctly, I'm gonna address it. Glenn, I'm not saying that your contract was not signed. I don't have a copy of that. And then the only one that is signed, that is supposed to be kept in our electronic documents that tell me, for me, thank you, Taylor. The only thing that's signed is extended. So if it is signed, can that be included in electronic documents? I don't understand what's the problem. What's so hard about that?
It is not. Okay.
So then I would have to make a statement about that.
All right. So everybody, if you want,
So you need a copy of it, then we should be able to have it.
okay. All right, please. All right. So the contracts, we all know that the contracts was not readily available with signatures. It don't matter which, the prior company, this company, up until now, this is the first time that we have one location where we, as a collective, that we can go in and view the contracts. So we're moving forward in a proper manner. It's no slapping nobody's face that if you find something that we can improve on, that's what we're moving towards. And I think that's the biggest picture, is that we're moving towards to improve. But all contracts should be signed. We should have a copy. We should have a hard copy. And it should be readily available within a certain amount of time for any member to come in and review any contract. Because we didn't have that. So we're moving in that direction where the question is, do you guys want to take some of the recommendations, adjust the recommendations, vote on the recommendation?
You need to be recognized, Ms. Jackson. Please raise your hand, everybody. Right.
Again.
Come on.
Go ahead.
So, I want to understand something. Kathy, I need to ask you a question. So, is this the same, and Glenn, is this the same box that when I was looking for the tree things? Because remember, I discovered that a box of files is missing, and they were, is this that?
No.
This has nothing.
No.
It has nothing to do with that, so none of the files are in that particular box?
No.
No, that's descriptions and.
Yeah, those are vendor invoices.
We're talking about this vendor contracts, the way we handle.
No, I'm just making sure that that's not a box that, excuse me, can you?
Just continue on.
No, it seems like it depends on who's talking, you don't say anything.
It doesn't depend on who's talking.
Well, okay,
This is your question.
so when I'm talking, I want to be heard, I want to be able to be heard.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't wrap me up, I don't wrap me up. So what I'm saying is that I had a question about that being that particular box, and people standing up, I don't know what that's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Means nothing.
But
anyway,
your question said,
it was a council receivable. That's what I need to know. I would not know that if I don't ask.
yeah, that had nothing to do with.
I understand that now. I asked the question. That's how I found out.
All right, moving forward, Charlene, I think your contract was amended, and we wanted to sign it in front of the board because it was some language that the committee found that paid time off that needed to be removed. It was removed, so I did not want to sign the contract without signing it in front of the committee. Okay, so it's not extending the contract, it's only not renewing the contract, just signing the amendments that was found by the committee. If you guys want to, I will let one of the committee members explain what they found.
Yes, this is regarding the automobile zone. We had asked for various contracts, upcoming contracts. And one of them was for the property manager. And when we got it would contain a signature page. So we we had hired her employee. Okay, and we knew that was a no-no. Either her employee is a W-2, which we would like to see, or she's an independent contractor. Neither one of that, neither one of those give the HOA the ability to pay her for annual leave. That's a no, period. Because then what is happening is, we now, homeowners, is obligated. They have been writing 2 checks to this property manager. 2 checks. Okay, one states hourly, and the other one is just a flat sum of money. That is a no-no, because what it is, if, let's say, the internal revenue would come here and audit this book, we as homeowners would be liable, they could sue us, because that means that we are not taking out the necessary funds for this hourly wage person. And that's not, I'm not talking about the person, I'm talking about the position. Okay, I'm talking about the position. So we can no longer afford to write 2 checks or 1 check, because I notice now we're saying we still put her name, and I don't understand that. Why are we putting her name when we're writing a check to the property manager? Okay, this property manager is LLC, period. And she is responsible for all of our employees, how many and how many. Then we notice that we have a budget of $120,000, I believe, in, let's say, office supplies. But yet, and still, the contract stipulates that we will pay her for 25 cents here or whatever. So you need to really restructure the contract period. That's our recommendation. You can do whatever you want to do.
No,
That's our
but that's not, okay. That's what the amendment was the paid, removing the paid holidays from her contract.
Okay,
That's what the amendment was
okay.
at this time. Am I,
You are correct. And it was verified in person that my employee is a W-2.
no, so,
But then you can't allow.
no.
You cannot by law.
No, I know what you're saying. Okay, the amendment of Sterling contract was to remove the language of the paid holiday. Not to change the contract. That's something totally different, that if we adopted the information that was presented by Selena, the contract would be reviewed, some of the things that should not be in there, again, we can take it out. That for contracts are not automatic, and then we can move forward. Okay, so that's where we are right now. Yes, ma'am.
Each contract should have a performance clause, an out clause, and a indemnification clause for the HOA. Now, you put your scope of work in there and your salary, but the explanation that I gave her, when they did my office, Jocelyn, and is that when they asked me, I said, this is a W-2. Anything to do with HOA, you are paying.
Again, that ain't what we trying to get to. I'm signing the contract, the amended contract. What she's getting to, alluding to, is this: we pay the vendor. A check from Thousand Oaks should not go to Taylor. It should go to the vendor, and the vendor is responsible for their own employees. So
Let's just jump in there first, real quick. That's exactly how we would do it. Is the check does not get paid from Thousand Oaks, it goes to Charlene's company. And then just for the 2 check issue, at one point when Taylor started, I got a check with an invoice for Charlene and one for Taylor. They both got paid to the same 5-star. And at some point we said, well, what's the sense of sending 2, just put it on one?
you have, you have people, even when you're paying an hour, you have her name is on it. If you make it house and check it, but what we see is someone was doing an hour.
It's on her
Ms.
invoice.
Ms. Ann, we're in the process, this is why we have the different committees, because we're in the process of finding these wrongs and making them right. We're putting in protocols and things that what we find. I'm grateful that we have people that have the ability to look at things that I don't have the ability to do and bring to my attention. So the question is, as a board, do we want to adopt the recommendation as is, or do you block?
I'd like to say that the group of concerned citizens, I can't remember the exact words you used, but the meeting group that came together for that, the collaboration, thank you. I think they did an excellent job. I think that from page 1 all the way through, there's not a thing that I disagree with. I think they did an excellent job. They were very thorough, and I would wholeheartedly support every bit of it. I make a motion to adopt the contract concerns as presented by the committee.
We have a second. And it's discussion.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of items in there that I want more clarity on. And time to be responsive to.
How much time do you need? Because you had it for.
No, I didn't know I was gonna come here tonight and debate this like this.
But I requested that this be put on the
I
agenda.
understand.
I gave you a month in advance, but
I
you're
understand.
welcome to entitle to your discussion.
I mean,
But
but
it's enough time.
we got a motion on the floor. I don't. You want to rescind your motion?
No, sure, there's some motion. Well, I'm saying, I have some time to look at it. We've always did that.
It's a board interview. All in favor? Aye. Moving on, new final guidelines. Is this it? All right, we're gonna move on to final guideline, pet fees, vicious dog, $100 pickup, pet pickup, $10, pets off leash, $10, pet behavior, $10, unregistered pets, $25, regular violation fees, garbage, trash cans, $10, home property violation, $10, painting the house, $50, pressure cleaning, $25. They don't know that. Pressure washer, $25. Pressure cleaning, $25. Winter treatment, $10. Fix and repair, lighting system, $10. Vandalism, $25. Unsightly lead, $10.
It's not gonna stop anything, they're not gonna work. It's supposed to be a compliance, but it's not gonna achieve that. So I don't know if you want to make one, renew it, or you want to put in the final thing, or come up with suggestions.
We put a lot of time, right, you know, notice me. We put a lot of time into, when we did it in front of everybody, a packed room, and we didn't just take one meeting to do it. I wouldn't be opposed to raising it, because I plan on being staying in compliance. But there are some of the things you guys got on that governor just last week, cited something, and if you guys would keep up with this stuff, you would know that. So, and I think, I'll just give you one, just so everybody knows, the garbage can. So do you know what the governor said about that last week? I don't know. This is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So So when we start doing stuff like this, we need to know all the, how it's going to, the implications. That's all. But you guys want to raise it, fine, come up with a new spreadsheet? Are you saying we redo it?
The board actually have sessions before we actually did this. I think he was trying to just like 25 or something, but you know, 10 doesn't change it.
You and your chair can sit down and bring back something and we'll pass it.
$10 is not gonna change the behavior.
You were here then, Glenn, when we came up with it, and when people sat out there and the room was a few different people.
Moving forward, so the reason you put it on here is for us to vote that you guys go and review this and review the fee.
The board can either do it or can send it up to the finance committee along with the property manager.
All right. So can I have a motion for,
No need on your chair.
can I have a motion for the fees to be reviewed by the finance committee and can't come back to us?
Some move.
Anybody second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? All right, so Signal Security. All right, where we left off with Signal Security, we had a few board members wanted to review the contract at the time that we are currently paying for the car. And the question was, do we want to go out and reopen the contract? And that's where we left off. So if we reopen the contract and renegotiate the contract, what happens? If we find a new vendor, we find a new vendor. If we both keep this vendor, we both keep this vendor. So Joe and Celine, you two wanted to.
So my statement is, I think we should renegotiate because it's a lot of holes and a lot of unanswered questions for me.
So you want to make a motion to renegotiate the contract?
I make a motion to renegotiate.
All right. Can I get a second? A second. Any discussion?
Yeah, my comment on that, just when you open up the contract, to renegotiate with one vendor, he now controls kind of what he does or doesn't want to do. I mean, yes, you could try to renegotiate, and if what you're suggesting he doesn't take, you're stuck with what's already there, or you put it out to bid. If you really want to change it and run the risk of a higher cost, it could be lower. My suggestion would be to rebid the contract and open it up to other vendors. That would be the fair way, because if you just reopen it, you're not giving anybody else a chance to jump in.
And that would be my next question, if you follow the new process and the protocol that we created, then I want to make sure that other people get the opportunity. So I'll restate that then.
So you want to name that?
Yeah. Open up for others as well.
You want to put it back out for bid, is what your motion is?
Because there's still not a clear-cut understanding of the contract. And again, like I said, the detailed contract that Jeff stated he did and it was signed and documented. Where is it? If I can review it and actually see what was in writing and the details, and I'm telling you, because what we have, the numbers are not what we're discussing. And if the residents actually see the contract too, there will be some concerns because everything that is detailed that we're paying, that is not in the contract that you guys gave me.
You made the motion to rebid the contract, right? We have to go through the motion. So you did the motion. I'll second it.
Discussion? Any discussion? Go ahead.
So, Glenn, when we did the contract, me, you, and Keena sat with Secretary. When we got him to the place when we got to the point that all parties could sign the contract, from there, that contract, when I got up and left because I had to leave, that contract should have been at that point, he should have been made a copy, and then everything should have been put up. So now what I'm understanding, it doesn't exist.
It was still, I don't know where.
We know it was signed, but I mean, it doesn't exist. But I hear what you're saying, Rance, and see, I understand your point, but what I would do, instead of, just going back out to bid, I would give the person I think, and Glenn, I want you to weigh in next. Right, recognize you. Excuse me? It's fine. It is. So, if we have a contract, and the right thing to do about it, if we were anywhere else, the right thing to do about it would be to, I think we should wait till one of those years, because we're in like the mid of his contract. It's a 3-year contract, so we're at like 16 months or something like that. I'm just guessing at the time. You have a better idea. So we need to look at that, and we should get him on the plan it, set it up to the last, coming into the last month. Because you're talking, even with your plan, if we're at month 16, even with the plan you're telling us to go by, you said 90 days. So that will push us inside that time. And that's why I think the right thing to do would be to do something like that. And he'll be on that last year, and if we end up getting rid of him, we'll just be getting rid of him instead of in the middle of the contract at the last year of the contract. You'll be shaving off the last year. I think that's the right way to do it.
It really don't matter, because if we vote to bring other vendors in, that's what the vote is going to be. So I'm not trying to protect Cedric. I'm not trying to protect the vendor. It's whatever the board is. So we know what risk we all know what risk that we're going to take. We all discussed it last meeting. It can go in our favor or it can backfire on us. So guess what? We know the risk. So it's just a vote. That's it.
So right now, I just weigh in a little bit on that, because I did come to that understanding, and I thought about that as well. I think that the risk probably be that if we end up going with another contractor, if the bid ends up going out, then we would end up paying more. I think that's one of those things that needs to be, I think that that's something that needs to be considered. I say that, and I think it needs to be mentioned openly. I'll still vote the way I'm going to vote, because I still feel the same way I feel. But I just think that it needs to be understood that there's a good chance that it will come in higher and not lower.
But Bill, can I say something? I understand where you're coming from too, but where are the original members? That's my question. That's all I want to know. Where are the original members to show us the details? We don't even know. We're talking about if he comes back higher or if he comes back lower. If you don't know the original members that's being, well, I don't know. Let me say it like that, because I'm not sure if he was a part of the original contract. Not sure if he was, I take that back. I don't know the original members to be able to say he can come back higher or lower. If I can see the numbers, then we can talk. But no one seems to be able to provide that information. That's all I'm saying. Right? Just openly say it is missing. And again, this has nothing to do with the new property manager. I'm just speaking in general. The numbers are missing. Where are the numbers? That's all I'm asking.
So
There is a spreadsheet. I don't know if it was part of the contract.
But that's what I'm saying.
I do have a spreadsheet.
We have to know that it is factual. And I'm not saying that is not.
No, I know.
But you get what I'm saying?
We know what we're paying him because we pay him. We have the spreadsheet, so we know what we're paying him.
okay.
Now, Mr. Sergeant Lawrence, I agree with everything being fair, but for some reason, I'm just picking up that for whatever reason, when Jeff begins to speak, it's okay.
I just told them to let them speak up here. That's what I just said. So I don't know where you're going with this, and I don't know where Jeff is going with it, but we'll discuss it after this meeting, but not here. Okay? Thank you.
I just have it to be noted, right, that at this point in time, I did feel as if the Sergeant Arms became aggressive.
Yeah. You're right.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
gotta maintain our, decorum and civility, that we have a decorum and civility clause. And we did vote to have a sergeant on. We're doing great. We have a motion on the table, a second by Rance. Have a discussion. Any more discussion? All in favor? Aye.
No.
So, motion passed 4-1. All right. We had the vehicle, but that's kind of irrelevant, so we can move on. Next meeting, no meeting in July unless you guys want to have this meeting.
What's the date? What would the date be?
July 8th.
It's right after 4th of July holiday.
4th of July is on the Thursday.
It's right after 4th of July.
You guys want to do business, I don't know. If you're gonna do all this stuff, you get it done. I mean, it's up to you. I'll take
Well,
it.
we can always vote and then ratify. So we still can do business without a meeting. We just ratify. I'm saying, for sure. So, but if we want,
I'll just leave it, and if something comes up, we go with it.
so does anybody,
We've been on practice. Forget it.
anybody want? Anybody in the board member want a meeting next month?
No.
Got 2 no's, 3 no's. All right. So if we need to ratify anything, it will be done by email through the property manager. The next board meeting will be August 12th, 2024. Committee chair. Any other committee chairs are here? Final committee, beautification.
We're taking off the July, August, June, and July, because of the heat. We can't do anything. So we resume in August.
Gotcha. Final committee, anybody? Art committee?
Yeah, we'll be doing, the going over to the property manager, the finance.
All right. Board of directors? Joe?
Yes. I'd like to just bring back up what just happened. Any point that we feel the need that we need to rise up to speak or to speak in a way that points one individual speaking downwards to another individual, I think that violates our civility. I think it does. Just right now, we have somebody who's answering in the audience, and there was nothing that was said by the sergeant at arms. And this is my opportunity to speak on my behalf. So at that rate, it means that it is not being fairly, the sergeant at arms job is not being fairly administered. And I don't agree with that. If I feel I come out here to give what I have to be a part of this community, and I do it free will, nobody pays me, I give what I have. I don't want to come in here and feel as if somebody's threatening me. I think that these meetings sometimes are already too aggressive. And I don't agree with that. I don't have any aggression towards anybody. And I make my own choices. I'm not bought off by anybody. And you don't really know what choice I'm going to make. So I disagree with this piece of it. And I think that we need to go back to our heart of hearts and remember that the things that we're doing are for the benefit of Thousand Oaks. That's what it truly is about. So I wanted to put that out there. And I honestly don't mean anything in disrespect to the man in that position, because I think that since that position has been filled by him, it has gotten better here. Thank you.
Mr. Jackson?
Yeah, I don't know what it is or why it is. Maybe I earned it. Somebody can tell me that sidebar. But I treat everybody, I speak to everybody in here. They don't always speak back, but I speak to everybody in here. I ain't got no dislike for nobody in here. But, you know, there are times, this is just a fact. Maybe I earned it. I don't know. You can tell me. But if people be honest, when I begin to speak, it's almost like I gotta hurry up. And I have, for forever, since I've been on this board, a whole board of people alongside me got fired, got voted out because they didn't want to provide all the information to the homeowners. And some of you were here at that time. There are people who want to just tell you half statements. I try and give you guys all the facts. But every time I begin to talk, I got people, grown people, older than I am, start cringing in their seat and start talking while I'm talking. All the time. And I don't do them like that when they're giving their reports or when they're saying something, like when they're giving their statements. I don't do anybody in here like that. When any of you are talking, and I started, the board never really wanted to go person to person to person. I had board members that sat with me, and they never want to do that. I go, no, we're going to do that. To give everybody a voice. I've never tried to restrict anybody's voice. I've never been disrespectful to any of you. But I do get that. And I don't care who you bring in here. It's not like I'm going to ever get my ass whooped. So, but I'm not going to have a situation where it's going to be a man or a woman. I'm not going to be disrespectful to Ms. Johnson. I respect her. And I know she's a smart lady. I'm not going to be disrespectful to Ms. K or anybody else in here. So, you know, when people think that things are going to go down a certain way, not necessarily. And like you said, you don't know how we're going to vote on something. And I just share my mind. I share what I know for a fact. I take great pleasure in knowing a lot, and I read a lot. And I've done nothing but move Thousand Oaks forward or try to anyway. I do a lot of things. I don't wait to come out here and wave a flag and say, rah, 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 look at me. I'm doing things and people are calling me in the middle of the night. I don't come out here and tell anybody that. When people take vacations, they check my house every day. I don't tell anybody that. But I'm open. I have always done all of that stuff. And I've always treated everybody kind and with respect. And there's not a single person in here, if you call me and say, hey, I need this or this is going on with me, I'm going to help you regardless of what we do in here. So I don't know how in the hell we get to me being the bad guy. And another thing, as long as I'm outvoted up here, I've done my job. I've done my job by sharing what I have to share, and they can outvote me every day of the week. Right now, I disagree with stuff, and we walk right out the door and talk football. If you guys don't know that, what we do, or whatever else it is. So I don't care how, everybody up here heard me say in me in private, I don't give a damn how y'all vote. Let's just have a vote. And if I lose, so be it. Godspeed. Love you.
Right? I just want to thank you guys for your due diligence. Everything you do is appreciated. We're all learning. We continue to learn. Maybe we need to abide by the real rules of Arkansas. Also with the board, how when we speak out of order and speak out of turn, because the same for the public should be the same for us also. So we can apply every rule, Mr. Parliamentary. We can apply every rule. So when we speak out of turn and he cuts you off because you're not recognized, do not get upset. So that's how we're going to do. This is how we got here. So we want to keep moving forward in the right place. Mr. Parliamentary, we're going to apply rules across the board to everybody. If they're not recognized, they should not speak. Everybody can. So now, therefore, we shouldn't have nobody feeling intimidated or anything like that. So not one set of rules for nobody, one set of rules for everybody. So I just want to say thank you guys. We're moving in the right direction. We still need volunteers. Anything. So meeting adjourned. So thank you guys.